Hi everybody, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can add some of those most essential of fire starting materials, the matches and the lighter, or the rather confusingly called PetrolLighter, but that's not a PetrolLighter, that's like it's a butane lighter, isn't it? But anyway, matches and lighters. So in this example I'm going to be using Nitrado web servers for DayZ as the way we're going to do it, but obviously you might access yours via FTP or some other server provider. But on Nitrado you click on the web interface and this will get you in to the dashboard. This is a PlayStation 4 server, and then we come down to the tools and we want to click on file browser down here, and this gets us into the server file structure. Now on PC you'll have to dig down a little bit further to get to this bit where the DayZ missions are, but that's where we want to be. And then we click on the missions folder, and then you're going to see a couple of different things. You're either going to see it's going to say something to do with Chernarus, like Chernarus Plus, or say Enoch, which is Livonia, or maybe both. So just recall which map the server is running, and then click on that one. I mean, this is easy because it's running Chernarus, and Chernarus is the only option. So we click on that, and then the next folder we want to go into is the DB folder, the database folder. So we click on that one. And the file that's going to control the amount of matches and lighters that spawn in our DayZ is the types.xml file here. So we want to download this one here. See where it says download? Just click on that one. Now, when you've downloaded it, you want to make sure you make a copy of it. That way, if you make a mistake and you can't recover the mistake, you can go back to the original and start again. And then you need to open it in your favorite text editor. Could be Notepad, could be something else. I highly recommend Notepad++. It can be very powerful, it color codes everything, it's very fast and works very well. So let's start off by adjusting the matches. So let's do Control F to find, type in matches, find next, and we can't find them. Here we go, match. There we go, Matchbox, because that's what they're called. They're called the Matchbox, not matches. So we look for Matchbox, and we can see that on a vanilla server as of October 2020, the game will spawn in approximately 60 of them, with a minimum of 40. So that means that when the level gets down to 40, it'll start spawning them in again up to 60. It only counts them on the player. I've got flags on the mind. On the player, so that means that's good. So it'll only count them on the map. Sorry. So if you pick them up, or you put some in your bag, or you put some in your base or in your tent, DayZ doesn't count them as they're going along. It's classed as a tool. You'll find it on shelves in towns and villages and hunting areas where tools would be. Okay, so let's whack up the amount. So let's add, I always think you're safe adding between 25% and 50%, not to everything, but to the items that you want to do. So let's make these up to 90, and let's change the minimum up to 80. So that's pretty cool. Now, why don't we add one more usage name to matches? So if we have a look at the central loot economy, you'll see that these are the location usage tags that you can apply. So going back to here, so they're already spawn in towns and villages and hunting areas. So where else do you think it would be useful to your players to have matches or the Matchbox spawn? I seem to think that maybe coastal areas, on the coast, it would be good, wouldn't it? So when you refresh spawn and you're running along the coast and you're going through all those little rowing boats that have washed up on the beach, you find a box of matches. Because once you've got a box of matches, you can start a fire without, even if you haven't got a knife. Because if you want to start a fire in DayZ, really, you need some, actually you probably still need a knife because you need some rags, don't you? But you'll have some rags in your fresh spawn thing, don't you? Anyway, I still think coast is a good place. So let's have a look. So how do this? It's just typed as coast, isn't it? So let's copy that hunting. And let's change that to coast. There we go. So now we've added 30 more matches, or 30 more matchboxes that will spawn in, and they're going to spawn in on the towns, villages, huntings, and coast. So that's pretty cool. So the next one, let's adjust the lighter. So Control F again, lighter. If I can spell lighter, there we go. So there we go, PetrolLighter. So on a DayZ server, as of October 2020, 50 lighters will spawn in. So why don't we change this to 75. Let's change the minimum to 60. And I tell you what, we could have done with this. We could have done this with the matches. But see this quant min and quant max. These is the amount of fuel that's in the lighter. So lighters will spawn in with between 20% and 100% fuel. So why don't we change that to 99 so that our lighters always spawn in full of fuel? So they're going to last quite a long time. They're only counted on the map. They're found in tools. They're found in places where tools would be found on shelves. Only in towns. Oh, so we can make it better, can't we? We can make it easier for our players. So let's add a couple of places. So let's add them to, so town's good. Let's add village, like that. And let's add, where else could you find a lighter? Where else do you think would be in? Military offices. How about in an office? Yeah, you might find one there, couldn't you? Lots of people smoke in Eastern Europe, wouldn't they? So let's put office. There we go. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to change my mind. We're going to put industrial. Like that. There we go. So now we've added more petrol lighters. We've made sure that they're going to spawn in full of fuel. And we're going to make them spawn in villages and industrial areas as well as towns. That's pretty good, isn't it? So what you would do now is you would save that. And I always recommend you go over to somewhere like xmlvalidation.com, upload your types.xml just to check you haven't made any mistakes and accidentally deleted any opening and closing tags or anything. When you're happy, head on back over to your server, stop the server, and then what you want to do is you want to upload your new types.xml file and then restart your server, and then your new matches and your new lighters will start to spawn in and your players will be able to start fires to their heart's content. Okay, that's enough from me. Hopefully you found that video useful. If you have, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.